Most people come to the market chasing money. Very few come to build habits. And that is why most people leave disappointed, because money is a result. Habits are the cause. The market does not pay you for what you want. It pays you for what you repeat. Every trader who makes steady profits is not special. They are structured. They do not rely on motivation. They rely on routine. They do not trust emotions. They trust habits, because emotions change. Habits stay. If you want steady profits, you must stop asking what you should trade and start asking how you should behave. Behavior is what the market responds to, not intelligence, not excitement, not effort. Behavior. The first habit you must build is restraint, the ability to not act. Most traders believe trading is about action. It is not. It is about waiting. Waiting without frustration. Waiting without fear. Waiting without needing to prove anything. The market will give you many chances, but it only rewards those who can ignore most of them. Every time you enter without patience, you weaken yourself. Every time you wait when you want to act, you strengthen yourself. Restraint is not weakness. It is power under control, and control is the foundation of steady profits. Another habit is emotional distance, not emotional numbness, distance. You must care enough to be disciplined, but not so much that every move touches your heart. The moment the market controls your emotions, it controls your decisions. And when it controls your decisions, it controls your account. Steady traders feel emotions, but they do not obey them. They acknowledge them. Then they return to structure. This habit takes time, but it starts with awareness. Every time you feel pressure to enter, pause. Every time you feel fear to exit, pause. Every time you feel excitement after a win, pause. Pause creates space. Space creates choice. Choice creates discipline. Without pause, you react. Reaction is expensive. Response is profitable. Another habit you must build is consistency in size. Not going bigger because you feel confident. Not going smaller because you feel afraid. Keeping everything stable. Stability protects your mind. When your size changes with emotion, your results will also change. Steady profits come from steady behavior, not from emotional adjustments. The market punishes inconsistency. It rewards balance. You must also build the habit of stopping, knowing when enough is enough, stopping after mistakes, stopping after wins, stopping before emotions rise. Most traders lose not because they cannot enter, but because they cannot stop. They stay too long. They push too far. They force too much. Steady traders know when to walk away. And walking away is a skill. It requires humility. It requires patience. It requires self-respect, but it saves accounts. Another habit is honest review, not emotional review. Honest, looking at behavior, not results. Asking simple questions. Did I wait? Did I follow my rules? Did I rush? Did I ignore warnings? This habit builds awareness. Awareness builds control. Control builds consistency. Consistency builds profits. You must also build the habit of protecting capital, not chasing recovery, not trying to impress, not forcing growth. Protection comes first, always. Growth comes later. Anyone can grow fast. Very few can last long. And lasting is what creates steady income. You are not here to win today. You are here to still be trading next year. That mindset changes everything. It slows you down. It calms you. It protects you from yourself. Another habit is accepting boredom. This is where most traders fail. They need excitement. They need movement. They need action. But the market rewards boredom. It rewards stillness. It rewards patience. Steady traders are comfortable doing nothing. They do not need constant stimulation. They understand that waiting is work and that work pays quietly. You must also build the habit of separating identity from results. You are not your last trade. You are not your last win. You are not your last loss. If you tie your identity to outcomes, you will become emotional. And emotional traders do not stay steady. Steady traders judge themselves by behavior, not money. That habit protects confidence, and confidence protects discipline. You must also build the habit of simplicity. Simple rules, simple goals, simple execution. Complexity feeds ego. Simplicity feeds consistency. The more complicated your thinking becomes, the more emotional you become. Steady profits come from simple actions repeated well, not from clever ideas. You must also build the habit of patience with growth. Steady profits do not come fast. They grow quietly, slowly, naturally. If you rush growth, you destroy it. Just like anything living, you must let time work with you, not against you. Time rewards discipline, it punishes impatience. You must also build the habit of emotional recovery. Losses will happen, mistakes will happen. What matters is how fast you return to calm. Do you revenge? Do you rush? Or do you pause? Pause is healing. Pause is discipline. Pause is strength. Steady traders recover emotionally before they act again. That habit saves them more money than any setup ever could. You must also build the habit of self-honesty. No excuses, no stories, no blame, just truth. Truth about your behavior, truth about your mistakes, truth about your emotions. Truth builds growth. Lies build repetition. The market does not punish ignorance. It punishes dishonesty with yourself. If you want steady profits, you must be brutally honest internally, but gentle emotionally. This balance keeps you growing. All these habits work together. None of them work alone, and none of them work overnight. But together, they create stability. And stability is the environment where steady profits grow. You do not wake up one day disciplined. You build it daily through repetition, through awareness, through patience, through restraint, through protection, and through time. This is not exciting, but it is real. And real always wins because habits do not change your results immediately. They change who you are first. And who you are is what the market eventually pays. Most traders quit habits too early because they do not feel rewarded. They expect discipline to feel good. It does not. Discipline feels restrictive at first. It feels slow. It feels boring. It feels uncomfortable. But discomfort is the sign that a bad habit is being replaced. You must stop running from that feeling. That feeling is growth. Another habit you must build is patience with yourself, not patience with the market, patience with you. You will make mistakes while building discipline. You will break rules sometimes. You will feel frustration. That does not mean you are failing. It means you are learning. The problem is not making mistakes. The problem is reacting emotionally to them. Steady traders correct calmly. They do not punish themselves. They adjust. They learn. They continue. This habit of calm correction is powerful because it keeps you stable during growth. You must also build the habit of emotional neutrality, not caring too much when you win, not collapsing when you lose, staying balanced. Balanced traders think clearly. Unbalanced traders chase feelings. The market feeds on emotional swings, so you must flatten them. This does not mean you stop feeling. It means feelings stop controlling you. You feel excitement, but you do not increase risk. You feel fear, but you do not exit early. You feel anger, but you do not revenge trade. That restraint builds inner strength. Inner strength creates steady performance. Another habit is daily structure. Trading without structure is emotional gambling. Steady traders know when they trade. They know when they stop. They know when they review. They do not trade randomly. Random behavior creates random results. Structure creates predictability. Predictability creates confidence. Confidence creates patience. This habit alone removes chaos from your trading life. You must also build the habit of walking away after losses, walking away after wins, walking away when tired, walking away when emotional. This habit protects you from spirals. Most big losses come after you should have stopped. Steady traders respect limits. They do not push. They do not force. They step away. That habit saves more money than any smart decision ever will. Another habit is detachment from outcome. You prepare, you execute, you accept, then you move on. No replaying, no overthinking, no emotional attachment. Attachment creates hesitation. Detachment creates clarity. Clarity allows consistency. You must also build the habit of focusing on process over profit. Profit is noisy. Process is quiet. Profit distracts. Process stabilizes. Steady traders track behavior, not money. Money comes naturally when behavior is correct. But when money becomes the focus, behavior breaks. You must also build the habit of reducing exposure during emotional periods. If you feel tired, reduce activity. If you feel angry, stop. If you feel overconfident, slow down. Emotional awareness is a habit. Ignoring emotions is dangerous. Respecting them is smart. Steady traders listen to themselves. Another habit is long-term thinking, not what happens today, but what happens over months, years. Steady profits are not built in days. They are built in seasons. If you trade for today, you rush. If you trade for the future, you protect. Protection creates longevity. Longevity creates opportunity. Opportunity creates growth. You must also build the habit of simplicity in goals. Do not aim to double accounts. Aim to stay consistent. Aim to follow rules. Aim to remain calm. Those goals are achievable daily, and daily wins build confidence. Confidence builds discipline. Discipline builds results. Another habit is respecting recovery. After mistakes, pause. After losses, pause. After emotional days, pause. Recovery is not weakness. Recovery is maintenance. Machines break without maintenance. So do people. Steady traders protect their mental energy because mental energy decides everything. You must also build the habit of reducing noise. Less opinions, less comparison, less distraction. Noise creates doubt. Doubt creates hesitation. Hesitation creates mistakes. Quiet creates clarity. Clarity creates confidence. Confidence creates patience. Steady traders operate in quiet spaces, internally and externally. Another habit is humility, not thinking you have figured it out, not thinking you are special, staying open, staying cautious, staying grounded. The market punishes arrogance. It respects humility. Humility keeps you learning. Learning keeps you adaptable. Adaptability keeps you alive. And being alive in the market is the first requirement for steady profit. All these habits work together like a system. If one breaks, the others weaken. That is why steady traders protect habits more than profits. They know profits come and go. Habits stay, and habits decide everything. You are not building results. You are building a foundation, and foundations are invisible, but they hold everything. You must trust this process, even when it feels slow, especially when it feels slow, because slow is where control lives. Fast is where mistakes hide. Steady profits come to those who respect the boring work. The quiet days, the patient waits. The discipline stops, the calm decisions. That is where real consistency is formed. Not in excitement, not in rush, not in noise, but in habits repeated with care, because care is what turns habits into something unbreakable. Care is the difference between forcing discipline and living discipline. When you care about your future more than today's feeling, your behavior changes naturally. You stop needing to push yourself. You stop needing to motivate yourself. Your actions begin to align on their own. Another habit you must build is emotional honesty in real time, not later, not in review, in the moment. When you feel rushed, admit it. When you feel afraid, admit it. When you feel excited, admit it. Awareness in the moment is powerful because once you name a feeling, it loses control over you. Unseen emotions drive behavior. Seen emotions lose power. Steady traders are not emotionless. They are emotionally aware. That awareness protects them from acting unconsciously. Another habit is lowering expectations, not lowering standards, lowering expectations. Expectations create pressure. Pressure creates urgency. Urgency creates mistakes. Standards guide behavior. Expectations demand outcomes. You must trade with standards, not expectations. Standards say, I will follow my rules. Expectations say, I must win. One creates discipline, the other creates fear. Steady profits come from standards lived daily, not expectations chased emotionally. You must also build the habit of acceptance. Acceptance of losses, acceptance of slow days, acceptance of missed moves, acceptance of uncertainty. The market is uncertain by nature. Fighting uncertainty creates stress. Accepting uncertainty creates peace. Peace allows clarity. Clarity allows discipline. Discipline allows consistency. Acceptance is not giving up. It is letting go of control where you never had it and focusing control where you do. Your behavior. Another habit is protecting confidence, not inflating it, protecting it. Avoid overtrading after wins. Avoid self-criticism after losses. Avoid extremes. Confidence grows best in stable environments, not emotional ones. Steady traders keep their confidence in a narrow range. They do not let it spike. They do not let it crash. They guard it carefully. because confidence is fuel and fuel must be managed. Another habit is repetition without attachment, doing the same thing well without boredom turning into carelessness, without familiarity turning into laziness. Repetition builds mastery, but only if attention stays present. Steady traders respect repetition. They do not rush it. They do not skip steps. They understand that mastery is quiet work done repeatedly. Another habit is ending days clean, not emotionally, clean mentally. No unfinished anger, no lingering regret, no revenge plans. When a day ends, it ends. You rest, you reset, you return neutral. Carrying emotions from one day to the next creates bias. Bias creates mistakes. Steady traders start fresh every day. Another habit is protecting energy, not trading when tired, not trading when distracted, not trading when emotional. Energy affects decision quality. Low energy leads to poor choices. Poor choices lead to losses. Losses lead to emotion. Emotion leads to spirals. Steady traders respect energy. They trade when they are present. They stop when they are not. Another habit is letting go of comparison. Comparison creates pressure. Pressure creates urgency. Urgency creates mistakes. There will always be someone doing better. There will always be someone doing worse. Neither matters. Your journey is your responsibility. Steady traders stay in their lane. They focus on their behavior, their habits, their discipline. That focus creates progress. Another habit is trusting small edges over big dreams. Big dreams rush you, small edges grow you. Steady profits are built from small advantages repeated often, not from rare big wins. If you chase big wins, you ignore consistency. If you respect small progress, consistency compounds. Another habit is emotional recovery after mistakes, not punishment, recovery. Punishment creates fear. Fear creates hesitation. Hesitation creates missed decisions. Recovery restores balance. Balance restores clarity. Steady traders recover fast emotionally. They do not dwell. They do not spiral. They pause. They breathe. They reset. Another habit is commitment to longevity, not excitement, not speed. Longevity. Every decision is filtered through one question. Will this help me stay in the game? If the answer is no, they do not take it. This habit alone removes many bad decisions. Another habit is respecting boredom as part of work. Boredom is not a signal to act. It is a signal that nothing needs to be done. Steady traders are comfortable with boredom. They do not try to escape it. They sit with it because boredom often means discipline is working. Another habit is trusting yourself again and again. Trust is built by keeping promises, small promises, daily promises, promises to wait, promises to stop, promises to follow rules. Every kept promise strengthens self-trust. Self-trust strengthens confidence. Confidence strengthens discipline. Discipline strengthens consistency. Consistency builds steady profit. You can see the pattern now. Nothing here is dramatic. Nothing is flashy. Nothing is exciting. And that is exactly why it works. The market does not reward drama. It rewards structure. It rewards patience. It rewards discipline. It rewards consistency. You do not need more knowledge. You need stronger habits. And habits are built one decision at a time, one pause at a time, one calm moment at a time, one disciplined stop at a time. You are not behind. You are building, and building takes time. But what you build slowly becomes unshakable because unshakable habits are not built in comfort. They are built in moments where you choose discipline over desire over and over again. This is where most people stop, not because they cannot do it, but because they underestimate how quiet real growth feels. They expect a breakthrough, a moment of clarity, a feeling of arrival, but steady traders rarely feel that. They just notice that chaos no longer pulls them. They notice that mistakes reduce. They notice that emotions soften. They notice that decisions become easier. That is how habits work. They change your default state. Another habit you must build is respect for limits, not seeing limits as restrictions, but as protection. Limits protect your mind. Limits protect your focus. Limits protect your future. Steady traders do not test limits emotionally. They respect them calmly. They stop before exhaustion. They stop before frustration. They stop before greed. That habit alone prevents many spirals. Another habit is slowing your internal pace, not just your actions, your thinking. Fast thinking creates pressure. Pressure creates urgency. Urgency creates mistakes. Slow thinking creates clarity. Clarity creates patience. Patience creates discipline. Steady traders think slowly even when the market moves fast. They do not mirror speed, they maintain rhythm. Rhythm is more important than speed. Another habit is letting go of control where control does not exist. Trying to control outcomes creates stress. Stress creates emotional behavior. Emotional behavior breaks habits. Steady traders focus on what they can control: preparation, execution, risk, stop. They release everything else. That release brings peace. Peace improves decisions. Another habit is emotional humility, accepting that you can be wrong, accepting that losses are normal, accepting that mistakes will happen. This humility keeps you flexible. Rigidity breaks under pressure. Flexibility adapts. Steady traders adapt calmly. They do not argue with reality. They accept it. Then they respond. Another habit is consistency and routine. Same preparation, same process, same review. Routine reduces decision fatigue. Decision fatigue leads to emotional choices. Emotional choices lead to losses. Routine keeps you fresh mentally. Another habit is protecting confidence from outside voices, opinions, predictions, noise. Steady traders filter information carefully. They do not let others influence their behavior. They trust their process. They trust their habits. That trust keeps them stable. Another habit is closing the day mentally. When the day ends, it ends. No replaying trades in bed. No planning revenge. No emotional attachment. Steady traders sleep clean. A clean mind wakes up focused. Another habit is respecting drawdowns emotionally, not panicking, not overcorrecting, not changing behavior dramatically. Small adjustments, calm reflection, steady correction. Drawdowns are part of growth. They test habits. Those who survive them grow stronger. Another habit is patience with progress. Progress comes in waves. Flat periods are normal. Growth is not linear. Steady traders understand this. They do not quit during quiet phases. They do not rush during slow growth. They stay consistent. Another habit is choosing discipline when no one is watching. Private discipline matters most. Not what you say, not what you post, what you do when alone. That is where habits form. Another habit is returning to basics under stress, not adding complexity, not changing systems. Basics restore balance. Complexity feeds anxiety. Steady traders simplify when stressed. Another habit is valuing peace over excitement. Excitement fades. Peace compounds. Peace allows repetition. Repetition builds consistency. Consistency builds steady profit. You are not building a lifestyle of adrenaline. You are building a lifestyle of calm control. Another habit is commitment to self mastery, not market mastery, self mastery, because once you master yourself, the market becomes manageable. Without self mastery, nothing works. Another habit is acceptance of slow success. Slow success is sustainable. Fast success is fragile. Steady traders choose sustainability. They do not rush milestones. They let results mature. Another habit is protecting identity. You are not a gambler. You are not impulsive. You are disciplined. You are patient. You are consistent. Speak this identity. Live this identity. Identity shapes behavior. Behavior shapes results. Another habit is forgiveness after mistakes, not excuses. Forgiveness. Forgiveness allows learning. Punishment creates fear. Fear blocks growth. Steady traders forgive quickly and adjust calmly. Another habit is gratitude for small wins, not money wins, behavior wins, a good stop, a clean wait, a disciplined exit. These reinforce habits. Another habit is staying curious. Curiosity keeps ego low. Ego breaks discipline. Curiosity asks questions instead of defending mistakes. Steady traders stay curious. Another habit is trust in time. Time compounds habits. Time rewards patience. Time reveals consistency. Time is your ally if you respect it. All these habits create a system, a quiet system, an invisible system, but a powerful one. This system does not promise excitement. It promises stability, and stability is what produces steady profits. Not big profits, not fast profits, steady profits. Profits you can repeat, profits you can rely on, profits that do not destroy your peace. This is the difference. You are not trying to win once. You are building a way of operating. And once that way is built, the market stops feeling dangerous. It stops feeling heavy. It stops feeling emotional. It becomes a place where discipline is rewarded, where patience is respected, where consistency is paid. You do not arrive at this state suddenly. You grow into it quietly, day by day, decision by decision, habit by habit. And one day, you realize you are no longer chasing profits. They are coming to you naturally because your habits invite them. And that is the real secret behind steady profits. Because by now, something inside you has already shifted, not loudly, not dramatically, but quietly. You are no longer looking for tricks. You are no longer asking for shortcuts. You are no longer chasing excitement. You are listening for stability. And that is the clearest sign that steady profits are no longer a dream for you. They are becoming a direction. The final habit you must fully accept is ownership, full ownership of your actions, your decisions, your discipline, your patience. No excuses, no blame, no stories. When you take full ownership, you stop feeling powerless. Powerlessness creates emotional trading. Ownership creates calm control. Steady traders do not ask why the market did something. They ask how they responded. That one shift removes frustration because you cannot control the market, but you can always refine your response. And refinement is where mastery lives. Another habit that seals everything together is trust in repetition. Not repetition driven by hope, repetition driven by discipline, doing the same right thing even when results are slow, even when progress feels invisible, even when motivation fades. This is where most people stop because repetition without excitement feels meaningless to them. But repetition is how habits lock in. Repetition is how identity forms. Repetition is how consistency becomes natural. At first, discipline feels forced. Then it feels intentional. Then it feels automatic. That is the journey. You are not failing if it feels hard. It feels hard because it is working. Another habit that separates steady traders from everyone else is emotional independence. You do not let a win change your behavior. You do not let a loss change your behavior. Your behavior stays the same, calm, structured, measured. This emotional independence makes you unpredictable to the market, and the market cannot punish what it cannot emotionally manipulate. That is real protection. Another habit is silence, not just external silence, internal silence, less self talk, less inner debate, less overthinking. Steady traders act from clarity, not noise. Silence allows you to hear your own discipline. Noise drowns it out. Another habit is respect for rest. You do not trade tired. You do not trade frustrated. You do not trade emotionally charged. Rest is not weakness. Rest is maintenance. Steady profits come from a rested mind. Another habit is patience with outcomes, not demanding results on your timeline, not comparing your pace to others, not rushing milestones. You allow growth to unfold because forced growth collapses. Natural growth compounds. Another habit is detachment from identity based on results. You are not a winner. You are not a loser. You are a disciplined operator. That identity frees you because your worth is no longer tied to outcomes, only to behavior. Another habit is awareness of patterns in yourself, not in the market, in you. When you rush, when you hesitate, when you get tired, when you get confident, this awareness allows early correction. Early correction prevents damage. Another habit is choosing long term peace over short term excitement every time, without exception, because excitement costs you later. Peace pays you over time. Another habit is gratitude for the process, not the profit. Gratitude grounds you. It keeps ego low. It keeps discipline strong. It keeps patience alive. Another habit is faith in slow progress, not blind faith, earned faith, faith built from repetition, from kept promises, from disciplined days. That faith becomes quiet confidence, and quiet confidence is unshakable. When all these habits come together, something powerful happens. You stop feeling like you are fighting the market. You stop feeling like you are chasing money. You stop feeling like you are behind. You feel grounded. You feel prepared. You feel calm. You feel consistent. And consistency is what the market pays. Not once, but again and again. You realize that steady profits were never about intelligence. They were about habits. They were about patience. They were about self control. They were about emotional discipline. They were about identity. You were never missing information. You were missing structure. And now you are building it slowly, quietly, properly. You are no longer asking how to make money faster. You are building a way of operating that money respects. You are no longer trying to win every day. You are trying to remain disciplined every day. And that changes everything because the trader who remains disciplined will eventually win. Always, time is on the side of discipline. Time is against impatience. And now you are finally aligned with time. One day, you will look back not at a single trade, not at a single win, but at the moment you stopped rushing, the moment you chose habits over hype, the moment you chose discipline over excitement, the moment you chose consistency over chaos. That moment is when steady profits truly begin, not on your screen, but inside you. And once that change happens, the market has nothing left to exploit, only something to reward quietly, steadily. Over time,